You're from Australia. What's your ethnic origin?
I'm from Malaysia, China.
From Malaysia. Okay.
My parents, dad, my friend.
We have an Mongolian Australian coming to visit us next week. So I thought it might be you.
No.
Not from Mongolia.
No. Not at all.
You come with your father and mother? I'll live in Australia.
No, only me.
Just you. And your parents live in Malaysia,
Penang.
in Penang. I see. What you do in Australia?
I work for a medical device company.
Are you residents there?
I am.
So what's the purpose of your visit?
Listen to a Dhamma talk,
In Thai?
hopefully in English.
Okay. What do you want to know? Any particular subject?
The practice.
See, what Buddhism can do for you is to liberate you from all forms of emotional and mental stress, sadness, depression, worry, anxiety, this sort of thing, the bad feelings that has nothing to do with the body. Sometimes we have a perfect body and the body is in perfect health. We have everything provided for the body, but we're still not happy. This is the thing that we deal with, the mental or the emotional part of our lives. Because this kind of unhappiness or sadness arises from our ignorance, not knowing how to control our emotion. Instead of creating peace and happiness, we tend to create anxiety, worry, unhappiness. That's because we don't know the cause of our anxiety and unhappiness. They all arise from our greed, hate, and delusion, or our desire, our craving for things. When we crave for things, we tend to be uneasy, and until we get what we want, then we feel good. But while we're wanting something, we feel bad. So to get rid of our bad feeling we have to get rid of our cravings. Just be content with nothing. That's the best thing for the mind, is to have nothing. But we don't know how to keep the mind from craving. And the Lord Buddha found a way, and that's in the meditation practice. Our craving arises from our thoughts. When we think of something, we tend to have craving for those things, or desire for those things. We want things to be like this and like that. We want to have this and have that, because we thought that by having these things will make us happy. But they are false kind of happiness. They make us happy briefly. When we get what we want, we feel good. But then that good feeling will disappear. And then there will be another desire, another craving. And then we will have another bad feeling to get rid of. And the way we get rid of our bad feeling is to do what our craving asks us to do. We want something, we feel bad if we don't get it, so we have to go get it. Once we get it, we feel good. but then after a while another craving will arise. So this keep on going like this until you get to the point where you cannot satisfy or supply your craving. Then you feel very bad. Usually when people get older, when their body cannot do what the craving asks them to do, they will feel depressed, they will feel bad. So if the depression or the bad feeling gets to the point where they could not cope with, they think of suicide, they think of killing themselves, because they thought that by killing the body will get rid of their depression. This is another form of doing what your craving asks you to do. Okay, you kill yourself and your depression will disappear, but then it will come back. You will have another craving coming up again. That's because your mind doesn't die with your body. See? The one that craves doesn't die with the body. Once this body dies, it will come back and have a new body. That's what we call rebirth. And when we're reborn, we come back and do the same old thing we did, like in our previous lives. And when we face the same problem, so this is basically the problem that Buddhism tackles with, is to get rid of all this depression and these bad feelings by eliminating the cause of these bad feelings, which the Buddha has discovered that they all come from our cravings. There are 3 cravings that we have to get rid of, 3 types of cravings. Cravings for sensual gratification, seeing, hearing, to enjoy things through your body, because they are like addiction to drugs or alcohol. Once you become addicted, you have to keep acquiring them. And no matter how much you can acquire them, they will never make you satisfied or content. You will always be craving for more and more. So the Buddha said you have to resist these cravings, give up these cravings. When you want to do something that you don't really have to do, don't do it. Like you want to see a movie, don't watch it. You want to listen to music, don't do it. Instead, go to meditate instead, to calm your mind, stop your cravings. This is the way to stop your craving, is to meditate. Once your minds become calm, your craving will disappear temporarily, and you'll find peace and happiness or contentment. But it's temporarily, because it only happens when you meditate. Once you return to your normal state of mind, your cravings will return again, and you will have to use another form of remedy, which will permanently eliminate your cravings, and that is to see the problem that arises from doing what you want to do. You might get some relief, some form of brief happiness, but then again you will have another craving arising. If you keep satisfying your craving, your craving will keep coming back for more. The only way to get rid of your craving is to see the vicious cycle that you have to go through. And what you get will also make you feel bad when you lose them. So you want to have something. When you get it, you feel good. But when you lose it, you feel bad. So it's better not to have anything, because everything is temporarily. Nothing lasts forever. So you have to see that what you crave for, what you desire for is temporary. Can only give you temporary happiness. And when they disappear, they make you feel bad because you attach to them, you cling to them, you rely on them to make you happy. So you must not rely on anything to make you happy. You should not rely on the senses, like what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch. They are all temporary. They come and go. When they come, they make you happy, but when they go, they make you sad. So you have to use this as a way of countering your cravings. Everything you have craving, you just have to tell yourself, this is bad for you, don't do it. Like when you want to smoke, don't do it, because once you smoke, you're going to have to keep on smoking. If you want to drink, don't drink it. Make it, this is your last drink, not this, but the previous drink is your last drink. And if you can stop your craving, the next craving will be not as strong as your first one, and the craving will become less intense, and eventually they will have no effect on your mind. Then you will be free from cravings that way. But you need to meditate when you feel bad from your cravings. Instead of go after your craving, you go meditate instead. So you have to learn how to meditate. Once you know how to meditate, when you are attacked by your cravings, then you tell yourself that doing what your craving asks you to do is hurting yourself more than helping yourself. This is the logic you have to have in the back of your mind. That by following your craving, doing what your craving asks you to do, it's like being addicted to drugs, or alcohol, or smokes. So you have to resist it, and the thing that will help you resist and make you don't feel as bad is to meditate. Because when you meditate, your mind becomes calm, and your craving will then stop. So you keep doing this. Every time you have cravings, you meditate, you resist, you don't do what your craving asks you to do. And if you can do this, eventually all your craving will disappear. And when there is no craving, you are free. You would have nothing to make you feel sad or depressed. Compare yourself to someone who is addicted to smoking, for instance. One who smokes and one who does smoke, who is better off? Yeah. One who drinks and one who doesn't drink, who is better off? Yeah. One who's addicted to drugs and one who's not, who is better? So that's what we have to do. We have to use this fact to teach ourselves not to be addicted to anything. Right now we are addicted to the five senses. What we see, what we hear, what we taste, what we smell, and what we touch. So we have to resist these cravings. And then there are the two more cravings that we have to get rid of also, or resist. The desire to be and the desire not to be. Sometimes we want to be something or want to have something. We must not have that. We must get rid of those desires. Like the desire to be rich, to be famous, desire to be famous, the desire to be big, to be someone important. This will only lead you to more desire. So it will never make you happy. Because once you have it, you want to keep it. And if you cannot have it, you cannot keep it, you feel sad. When you lose it, you feel sad again. And the third desire is the desire not to be. We don't want to be old, we don't want to be sick, we don't want to die. You have to get rid of this desire. Because when you get old, you're going to become sad if you don't want to get old. When you get sick, if you don't want to get sick, you will become sad. And if you don't want to die, when you have to die, you will feel sad, feel bad. But if you don't have this desire, you won't feel anything. Because you're not the one who dies. The one who dies isn't you. You never die. The mind never dies. The body is the one who dies. But the body doesn't know that it dies. And you cannot stop the body from dying anyway. So why get bad? Why feel sad? Why be disturbed by the dying of the body when it's not you who's dying? You are the mind, see. You are the possessor of the body. But the body cannot be with you all the time. The body is temporary. It only lasts for maybe 100 years. After that, it's going to say goodbye to you, whether you like it or not. Most people don't like it. That's why most people are sad, because when they have to lose the body. See? But for people who know that their sadness arises from not wanting the body to die, so all they have to do is just to stop this desire for not having the body to die, and just let the body be. If the body wants to die, let it die. You don't die with the body. Then you will not be sad or be depressed. You will feel normal, just like you are now. Living or dying is the same, because you have wisdom. See? You can separate yourself from the body. You can look at your body as if you look at somebody else's body. When you look at somebody else's body, you don't know, you don't care, right? What happened to them? They get sick, get old, or die. That's the problem, right? It's not your. So you should look at this body as somebody else's body, not your body. Then you will not be hurt when something happens to the body. In order to be able to be aloof, to be distanced from the body, you have to meditate. See? When you meditate, your mind temporarily detaches itself from the body. So whenever you feel bad toward the body, meditate. When you meditate, then your mind will then become detached from the body. Then whatever happens to the body will not affect your mind. So this is basically what you have to do to practice, to relinquish, to let go of all things that you think belong to you. Your body, you have to relinquish your attachment. You have to leave it alone. You can look after it, take care as much as you can. Give it food when it gets sick, take it to the hospital. But when it cannot be cured, you just have to leave it alone. Because if you have desire for the body to be well, and it doesn't get well, you will be sad all the time. And it's the same way with everything else that you have besides your body. Your possession, your relatives, your father, your mother, your sister, your wife, and your husband. Everybody has to leave. We all have to be separated from everything. Our possession, our money. That's why the Buddha teaches us to do charity. This is a practice run, to see if we can let go of our attachment to our money. Just keep the money that you need. The money that you don't need, give it away. because it will make you happier. Because eventually you're going to have to give up all the money you have. And if you know how to give up, then you will not be sad when you have to give it up. So right now you're just practicing giving up your money by giving it to charity, giving to other people. You can give it to anybody. You don't have to give to the temple you don't like to. You can give it to the hospital, the school, university. Give it to your father, your mother, your friend, whoever you want to. But don't keep it for yourself. Only keep what you need. And don't spend money on your cravings, because that will generate more sadness and unhappiness. This is basically what the Buddha teaches us to do, to relinquish, to abandon everything that we think belonging to us, because they only belong to us temporarily. One day we have to lose them all. And if we're willing to lose them, we will not be sad. If we're not willing to lose them, we will be sad. That's the problem. We don't want to lose things. Yeah. Because we lack the wisdom of the Buddha, who saw that everything will have to disappear from us, have to be separated from us. So this is what we have to do, to constantly remind ourselves to let go of everything. And in order to be able to let go, we have to have something to make us happy. And that something is the result from our meditation. If you can meditate to the point where you become happy, then you don't need to have anything to make you happy. See? Right now you don't have that kind of happiness. So you need some other kind of happiness to make you happy. You need a girlfriend or a wife, or a boyfriend. You need things to make you happy. But once you can meditate and make yourself happy, then you don't need to have anything. Then you can give up everything. So you have to meditate a lot to generate a new kind of happiness. Once you have this new kind of happiness, then you don't have to rely on other things to make you happy. Then you can abandon, you can let go of everything. If anything should go away, you say, so what? It doesn't matter, because you don't need them anymore. Once you can meditate and you have a new kind of happiness, then you don't need anything. So this is the purpose of meditation, to generate a new kind of happiness. The kind of happiness that will stick with you wherever you are, wherever you go. And you don't need anything to make you happy this way. All you need is self-control. You have to have the ability to stop your thinking. And the way to build up this ability is to concentrate, focus on one object. Like you can use a mantra, reciting the name of the Buddha. Just keep reciting, then it will prevent you from thinking about other things. And when you sit and recite, your mind can be totally still from your reciting of the name of the Buddha. But you have to do this before you sit, because if you don't do it before you sit, your mind will keep running away, keep thinking about the other things. So you have to rein in your mind before you meditate. This is what we call developing mindfulness. You can develop mindfulness from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. When you open up your eyes in the morning, just start reciting Buddho, Buddho, Buddho. When you get up, when you do your chores, bathing, washing your face, shaving, brushing your teeth, dressing, eating, whatever you do, just keep reciting the name of the Buddha. It will prevent you from thinking about other things. So you know how to stop your thinking. See? And when you meditate, you just keep reciting. When you get to the point where your thinking stops, then your mind will become peaceful and calm and happy. Once you know how to generate this kind of happiness, then you don't need any other kind of happiness, because this kind of happiness far surpasses other kinds of happiness. This kind of happiness is better than all other kinds of happiness. So this is what you have to do with the time that you have left. Once you have created this new kind of happiness, then you can relinquish, you can let go of everything, which you will have to let go one day. When you get sick, you get old, when you die, you cannot have anything, you cannot take anything with you. And if you don't need anything, then you won't have to come back and reborn again. See? This is the process of stopping this rebirth cycle. This is the way of stopping your rebirth cycle. Your endless rebirth will come to an end when you have finally got rid of your cravings, when you have found a new kind of happiness, the happiness that arises from stopping your mind from thinking, stopping your mind from cravings. Once you can accomplish this, then you will have realized Nibbana. Nibbana is not a place, it's just your state of mind. The mind that is free from all kinds of addiction. Like when you are free from addicted to smoking, you have reached one level of Nibbana already. When you are free from smoking, drinking, you have reached another level of Nibbana already. When you have free from every form of addiction, then you have fully realized Nibbana. So this is what I can tell you for today. Is there anything you like to ask?
Not yet.
Have your parents got my books in English? Can they read English?
Yes.
They already have? Okay. Alright then. How about you, your husband? Does he want to engage in any conversation?
Well, I would like to ask your thought on when you say the body dies and this, I'll call it the spirit lives or moves to the next life. How do you think about Alzheimer's, where the spirit dies and the body's still alive?
No, the spirit still alive, but it cannot function as all. It has to need the body to function. See? Alzheimer's is not a mental disease, it's a physical disease. Yeah. But scientists haven't yet discovered that. See? The disease that is mental is created by the lack of mindfulness and the lack of ability to control the mind from creating all forms of depression and emotional bad feelings. Yeah. The mind never dies. It cannot die. It is something that always exists, and it exists with the body because it needs the body to get what it wants. See? The mind wants to see, so it needs the body that has eyes. It wants to hear, so it needs a body with an ear to listen to things. But once you have no desire to see, to hear, to feel or touch, then you don't need to have a body. But that doesn't mean that the mind disappears by not having rebirth. The mind still exists. The mind of the Buddha still exists right now. But he doesn't have to have a body to show his existence, like us. We have a body to show our existence. But our body is not our real ourself. It's just our proxy. We use to communicate with each other. I use my body to communicate with you. See, I think. The one who thinks is not the body. And the one who listens, who knows what I say, is not the body. The body is just a medium. It just takes the sound into the ears, and then it's sent to the mind. The mind is the one who knows the sound, knows the picture that the body send it to it. And then the mind play with this sound and picture, see, by having like and dislike. When you like a picture, then you want to possess it, you want to acquire, you have craving for it. When you don't like, you have another kind of craving, you're craving to get rid of it. So you always engage with these things that you come into contact with, and then you get good or bad feeling from this engagement. This is how we live. We try to navigate through our engagement. We want to have positive, happy engagement, but sometimes we cannot. We run into bad or negative engagement. Sometimes we cannot get away, so we feel depressed, we feel bad, we feel like being driven to a corner, and there's nothing we can do about it. And sometimes people thought of dying, killing themselves to get away from that situation. But the real culprit is your desire. You don't want to be in that position. But if you can just stop that desire from not wanting to be in that position, just accept it. It's not bad. If you can stop that desire, then you can remain in that situation without being disturbed. What disturbs you is not the situation, but your desire for not wanting to be under that situation. So this is basically our problem, our cravings, to be or not to be. When we get something we don't like, we don't want to be there. We want to go away, run away. See? This is craving not to be. And when we like something, we crave to be in that, and we don't want it to disappear. And when it disappears, we feel bad again. But if you have neutral attitude toward everything, you just merely accept, acknowledge the situation, then nothing, you won't feel anything. See? You feel peaceful and calm, unaffected by the situation that you are in. And this is what meditation will make your mind become neutral, non-reactive, just merely acknowledging. Then you can face all forms, all kinds of situations. Do I make it clear to you? This is all mental, not physical. So what we need to do is to train the mind to become neutral, non-reactive, just to be acknowledging. Whatever we see, just acknowledge it. Don't react with like or dislike. When you have like, you have craving to process, to possess. When you have dislike, you have the craving to disengage or dispossess. But if you don't have like or dislike, then you will just, you just normal. You just don't react. You just acknowledge. Sometimes we can acknowledge things, right? Because we don't have like or dislike. But when we have like, we cannot remain acknowledging. We start to want to engage in what we like or what we dislike. But if you meditate, your mind will become non-reactive, non-engaging. It will just merely know. And it knows this is the best position for the mind to be. Because that's the best feeling you can get. You have to try to meditate to where you get to that point. Then you understand why you have to be in that position, because it's the best position to be in, the best form of happiness. is to have a mind calm and contented, not reacting, not engaging, not desiring, not acquiring, not craving for anything. You can do this. This is, the mind is like maybe the transmission of the automobile. We cannot find the neutral gear, the problem. We keep using the forward or the reverse gear. When we like something, we push the forward gear. When we dislike something, we use the reverse gear. We never use the neutral gear. So when we meditate, we want to put the mind in neutral, to be non-engaging, non-craving. Okay? Anything else? Then maybe I'll switch into the Thai language. Okay. You want to cut this, or you want to? We have to we will finish with the English language session, and we will start another clip with the Thai session.